Hello and welcome to the Licensed Dad. Now, first things first, my son's upstairs playing with one of his friends, so maybe some background noise every now and then. Or I may have to just stop the recording. Today I thought I would do something a little different and talk about how you can shave like a dad. So while it doesn't seem terribly dad related, at the end of the day, if you're like me, I have an absolute lumberjack beard, but I have like baby skin. And my kids tend to complain when my face rubs against theirs and I've got beard going, which is pretty much daily. So by 3 hours from now, I'm gonna look like a lumberjack again. So I thought I would talk about some of the things, some of the tools, services, whatever you want to call them, that I use pretty much, well, not daily because I can't shave daily. I literally cannot shave daily. Blood just spurts from everywhere. But the things that I use to get a nice clean shave and the schedule I have to follow. Okay, I'm back. Had to go settle the kids. So, to start with, like pretty much everyone else, more than likely, I spent years with one of these things. Now, the interesting thing about this thing is the razor itself probably costs, $8 or something, which is, not unsubstantial. And it comes with like 3 blades. Now, I have this thing here that has, I think it's got 4 or 5 blades on it. They come in 4 packs or something, and it costs you like $8. Or you can go to Costco or Sam's or whatever and buy, like 20 of them for like, $35 or something. Now, I can use one of these approximately twice. By the 3rd time, I start bleeding everywhere. And so I chuck it and have to get a new one. And that's after having gone through the rigmarole of, getting your beard wet and preparing yourself. Then I did that for the last 20 years probably. It gets really expensive. Next thing was a friend of mine at work tuned me into this service. And if you don't know what Harry's is, and I actually, for whatever reason, have 2 of them. Don't really recall why. I think one of them was the one that I got when I signed up, and at the time, I think they had a promotion where you were getting like a 2 for 1. The other one was a travel pack, and as you can see, I've never really even opened it. Now, I use that service for, I don't know, maybe a year. And the way it works is you sign up, and you can sign up for a schedule in that they will mail you the razor if you want it right away. They'll mail it to you, and then they'll mail you like a starter pack of shaving cream, which I actually liked very much. It was quite nice, and some blades. And the blades are like the ones we were just looking at, in that they are, 4 or 5 blades that you throw away. And it was probably a little less expensive than this thing was at the end of the day. But I don't shave regularly. There's weeks where I shave once a week. Other times I'll shave max, because, there's, I don't know, Christmas time, 3 times a week. I just can't do it. Usually once to twice a week. So doing that, I went through, here's one of their recharger packs. Okay, so it actually comes with 4 blades. So, and I think it was, don't remember. I'll post the price here, or here actually. And so the way it is you can choose for them to send you blades regularly. Say every 3 months they'll just send you a certain number, or you can say don't send me any, and then you just go on the website and you just order them at the time. If you do use a schedule, then it just on a certain date they'll just mail them to you. Your credit card gets charged and whatnot. It was fine. I used it for maybe a little less than a year, maybe 9 months. Just kind of lost interest. Actually, one of the interesting things about this, which is strange, is that because of this space here, which is supposed to lift your beard, I actually couldn't get, this is a bizarre review, I couldn't get to the top area here. So I almost looked like Hitler at some point. I had to do all kinds of crazy acrobatics to get in there. Now, I remember when I was a little younger, there used to be some blades where on the back, there'd be a single blade here, which is made exactly for that, but for some reason I can't find that anymore. So, I did some, actually, side note, so I go to an actual barber to get my hair cut, like 60-some-year-old Italian dude with the twirly thing outside, with calendar, with pictures of his kids. Listens to talk radio all day, the whole thing. And when he's cutting your hair, when he does over your ear and the back of the neck and whatnot, he actually uses a straight blade. Sharpens it on the strap in front of you. And one day I actually asked him what he thought, if it was worth it if I were to purchase myself one of those. Because I've always been curious. I actually asked him once to give me a shave, but he wanted like $25 for it. So I was like, thank you very much. And he thought about it for about a minute, and he said it probably wasn't a good idea for the average person. So I was a little surprised by that. I actually did some research. You can go on Reddit. There's, I'll put in the description some links to some subreddits. There's some subreddits that are dedicated just to shaving. And surprisingly, there's a lot of upkeep when it comes to one of those straight blades, because you have to keep it really sharp. You have to purchase one of those straps, and you have to know how to use it properly. Not to mention, you can cut your head off. So it didn't take much to dissuade me from doing that. So then, while I was doing that research, I actually came across what is called, if I recall, it's called a safety razor. And basically what this is what your dad and my dad, more than likely your dad, definitely my dad, used while you and I were growing up, which is this. Now, the way this works, and there's a couple different ways. I'll use a different one. Actually, let me start with this one. So this was the very first one I ordered, and it came with a kit. And the kit came with the razor, 3 or 4 blades, one of these things, and a cream. Okay, the whole thing cost $29. About what I would pay for, like 2 months worth of razors, just the replacement razors, if I was buying some of these Schick or Wilkinson Sword or Fusion. I don't remember what company this is. Gillette Fusion. Now, this is the first one that I purchased with, and I actually prefer this one. It has an extremely, surprisingly heavy arm. And what you do is you take the top off here. I'm not going to do it now because it's actually broken. I can't use this one anymore. You take the top off, you put the blade on, and you put the top back down, and it curves the blade like this. Now, for some reason, it just doesn't screw into the head anymore, so it flops around. Not something you want when you're holding a blade to your face. So I actually got back to the company. I'd had it for about 3 weeks at the time, and I had to go back and forth with the person who sold them to me, and I actually took like a 5-second video and showed them how it was floppy, and they sent me a new head. And strangely enough, it did the exact same thing about a month later. So in the meantime, I actually enjoyed them enough that I purchased a different one. Because the one thing I didn't like about that one was I didn't find it very long. Okay, so I went with this one. Now the interesting thing is, and you're going to come to learn this if you get into any of these things. Okay, so the way it works is you unscrew it. That was the blade that fell out. Okay, so you've got the base plate. You put the blade on top. It's very sharp. And then you put the cover on. I'm pretty sure you can't see any of that because my big ass fingers. And then you screw it in and it holds it in place. Now the interesting thing that I did not know, which I came to learn eventually, is that there are varying degrees of curve and whatnot. And what that does is that helps you, because if you're, depending on how you hold it, you're not going to get the shave that you want. And this is considered an unaggressive blade. So when I use this one, I actually don't quite get as good of a shave as I would like. So what I did is I then purchased this one. Now this one is very similar, how do I do that, to the first one. Okay, they're actually almost identical in size, in weight. This one's actually, the one that's broken is actually still a bit heavier. I still prefer that weight. Okay, now this one's different, and I actually prefer this the best, is that when you unscrew the bottom, the top pops open. Okay, and you just pop a blade in. So less potential for it to break as far as I'm concerned, because this is all one piece. Now, that blade, not the blade, but the entire razor, I think I paid $8 for this. Okay, so same price as, well, not that one, same price as this one. The interesting thing is, okay, and this, you're going to recognize this, okay, and there are about 100 different brands. Okay, this is the type of razor that goes in there. Now, you're going to see, so there are 20 in this pack here. There are 20 dispensers, little plastic dispensers of 5 blades each, which, if I can math correctly, is 100 blades. And I bought this on Amazon, and I got free shipping out of it because I bought something else. I'll show you everything later. I think I paid $4 for this. And with my skin, I get out of each one of these approximately 3 to 4 shaves, because the way it works is, let me just find the blade here. This is great television here. This is great television. Okay, so I had to go cut apples for the kids. Back, where was I? Okay, so you open this up, you take one of those blades, you pop it in, close it up, give yourself a couple of shaves. A week from now, when you feel it's not as good, you take it and you flip it over. Okay, just changing the angle of the blade. So, I get about 3 or 4 shaves out of each one of those blades. Now, I'm not going to bother doing the math right now. I can tell you one thing. It's definitely cheaper than these things or these things. Okay? All of this stuff. Now, the one thing is, and I'll maybe link to a video, because there's actually a way to shave, and not everyone follows the same pattern, and this is supposed to be an aggressive shave. I don't find that it is, but I don't want to buy another razor again for a little while. It's fine. I mean, this is from today. So what you do is you get your beard wet and warm and, you know, prepared, and you've got your cream. Now, okay, so I haven't touched on cream. This, oh, it smells so good. Essential oil of lime. Whatever. Okay, so this little pot here, I think cost me $3. And this is the original one that I got when I bought this guy and this guy here. Okay, so this is the kit I got for $30. Okay, now, all told, I've been doing this since probably almost last summer, so close to a year now. Okay, so this one, almost full. This one, almost full. So if I were to do the math real quick, I probably paid about $10 for the first one, $10 for the replacement. I'm not going to count this one because I'm not using it. So far I'm up to $20, about $24. And I mathed wrong because I used my, counted my first razor in the, blah, blah, blah. All told, I spent about $50. And now I'm happy. And so what you do is you shave straight down, then you rinse off, lather again, shave sideways, okay, rinse off, lather, and then shave against the grain, which some people only do shave one and shave two, or shave one and shave two. When I used to use these, that's exactly the routine I used anyways. I would go once down and once up. Okay, so the one thing is it takes longer to shave this way because you're not just doing and you're done. It's such a better shave though. Okay, and it's going to cost you a sixth of purchasing these things over, you know, just 1 year. I guarantee. So let me show you what my kit consists of. So I bought one of these purely to, you know, keep this stuff from just lying around on my sink. Okay, this cost me $10 ish, and I have two of these. One came with the kit, and what I did is every now and then I go back on the store where I bought them and I check for end of line products or specials or whatnot. So just so we're clear, nothing other than the original kit did I pay full price for. Like this thing, when I said I bought it just because I wanted to see it, it was like some kind of special end of line thing, or it was Father's Day or whatever it was, and it cost, I think this was like $7. Okay, and I think these were $2.99 or $3.99. And the last thing is this thing called alum, just a square bar. Okay, and what happens is when you're done shaving, you wipe off your face and then you just slide this over your face, and what it does is it helps your pores to close. So if you have managed to cut yourself, it's going to sting a little, but it's causing your skin to close. You leave it on your face for 30 seconds. Great television. Leave it on your face for 30 seconds, and then usually what I do is I jump in the shower after I've shaved. So I get off, you know, whatever's gotten over my ears and whatnot. And so my kit consists of two of these, which I just randomly pick one. This, And again, on special one day, I bought this little box that what you do is you slide into this hole here your used blades, so that when this thing is full, you can actually take it to the pharmacy and give it to them, and they'll dispose of them safely, so that no one gets caught or whatnot. And there you go. That's my contribution to the dad world today. Is that if you're like me, you don't give yourself that many treats all that often. And strangely enough, when my buddies and I get together, shaving actually comes up as a subject. It's actually something dads talk about, strangely enough. If you have the time, for me, it takes about 10 or 15 minutes. But that's nothing in a day, right? And if you don't have time for that in the morning, I actually prefer to shave before going to bed. So I'll give myself a shave, jump in the shower, go to bed feeling nice and refreshed, get up in the morning, don't have to worry about it, just go. If you like to do it in the morning and you want to try it, just give yourself an extra 10 or 15 minutes. But it's so worth it. So worth it. Such a better shave. And it's so much less expensive than this little thing here. Plus, I really hate the fact that there's so much plastic on this thing that we're throwing away into the garbage pail every week. Whereas at very least, these things, it's all stainless steel, I guess, and the pharmacy, as far as I know, recycles them. So the one thing is, I keep this up high, out of the way of little fingers. That's all. My son watches me shave. He's fascinated by it, but he knows he's not allowed to touch. It's fine. If you're at all interested in any of these products, I'm going to link below to some interesting places where you need to take a look. And if you are at all interested, try them. Get a little kit. And worst case, just keep an eye on when prices may drop. And you can also walk into just about any little barber shop and see what they have. I've actually seen some of these in the barber shops for about $10. $10 is 3 times what I paid, but you don't have to wait a week for them to come in the mail. So, whatever. So, that's my contribution for today. And I want to wish you a good one and enjoy being a dad.